Hi everyone, my name is Nathan, and today we're going to be playing a little bit more budget blue, white, red Geist of St. Traft. So let's get to the reason that you're here. Let's look at budget blue, white, red Geist. This is the same list that we ran before. I'm not going to do a deck tech, at least an in-depth one. Mainly what the deck is trying to do is use fast and aggressive creatures to deal enough damage to try to finish things off with burn. It doesn't run much counter magic. It doesn't have any Snapcaster mages. It's really focused on the budget aspects of things. Something we did change is I took out a Valorous stance in exchange for Elspeth Knight Errant. She is a powerful card, and if we're trying to get aggressive, she can be really good with Geist. And her ability can really just positively affect any creature that we happen to have played. So we're going to give this a try. And that's about it. Anything else I need to mention? Oh, the fetches are all from cons. Nothing in this deck is really that expensive. I think it's all pretty approachable. You can probably pick up this deck for a few $100, which by modern standards is pretty cheap, and it helps build you a good foundation for getting into Jeskai in modern going forward. Okay, let's play some games. See you guys in just a minute. Okay, guys, we won the die roll, so we're going to play first. This hand seems pretty good. We have 2 burn spells, a Mantis Rider. We're going to keep. Obviously, we're going to blah, 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 blah. Obviously, we're going to start with Mystic Monastery since it comes into play tapped. You know, one thing I've considered is trimming back a land, maybe going to 24. I think if we're not activating Celestial Colonnade, we can probably do that. We might even be able to cut down. We probably want to stay at 24, but we may be able to get we may be able to get by with 24. It's really important that we hit our 3 drops though, so maybe it just needs to stay at 25. Something to consider. I'm going to pause this while our opponent decides whether or not he wants to mulligan. I'm getting all tongue twisted today, guys. You know, I didn't even mention, by the way, I shaved my beard. I'm sorry. I'm apologizing to you because I can only assume you're as upset about it as my wife was. She didn't even want to talk to me. She actually said I ruined her day. She was not happy at all about the beard. I'm growing it back, though. It's just stubble at this point. It's been a few days trying to get there. Okay, well, here we go. Let's play our Mystic Monastery and pass the turn back to our opponent. And then we will most likely follow it up with either a Steam Vents or a Hollowed Fountain. Can't complain if our opponent doesn't have a play. All right, well, we are going to just play this land and hold up Mana Leak. Be great if we get to catch something here with Mana Leak. Looks like we are playing Infect. I am going to Mana Leak this, and then I am going to untap and play a Mantis Rider and attack. And then after that, we may have to use our Lightning Bolts in a controlling fashion. But let's go ahead and do this. Our life total is mostly irrelevant versus this deck. Don't even have to take any pain. Sure, we'll play the Sulphur Falls and go white, blue, red, Mantis Rider, beat. Kind of cool that Mantis Rider has Vigilance, so it makes it even a little bit more difficult for him to punch through. Another mirror. Okay, I would love to save. Actually, I'm just going to go ahead and path this and hopefully save the burn for our opponent's face. Path means that he won't be able to use anything like mutagenic growth to pump it out of the range of bolt. And we can attack first. And while he's tapped out, he won't be able to use Vines of the Vastwood to give his Ichor Claw Mirror hexproof in response to Path to Exile. Punch through there. Let's go ahead and path this guy. A lot of times against Infect, you want to use your removal spells on your turn. That way, if they do have a play, a lot of their spells, like Vines of the Vastwood, for example, gives him hexproof, but it can also be kicked to give his creature +4/+4. So you'd rather them do that kind of thing on their turn. You'd rather them use their pump spells on your turn so they don't get any value out of it. Now, I'd much prefer to send this burn at the face of our opponent, but if we have to kill something, then we have to kill something. Let's see, if we just send both these points of burn, that puts our opponent to 8. I am actually going to try to bolt this in response to Rancor. Our opponent probably has a Vines. If he doesn't have a Vines, he could mutagenic growth, which actually that's not enough. He'd have to like double mutagenic growth here, but I think I'm okay with using another bolt, even though it's our last removal spell. Right, so we're going to bolt again. I mean, the thing is, if all of this resolves, then our opponent's using all of his means to actually kill us on his turn. So none of that damage is going to go through to us. So again, now that our opponent's tapped out, if he wants to pay 2 life for mutagenic growth, okay, he didn't. So all of this is just going to fall off. We're going to be able to get in for 3, hopefully more. Let's draw something good here. Helix is pretty fair. We'll go ahead and punch. Player land tapped. I was saying that it may, our opponent has put all of his, well, I was going to say our opponent probably doesn't have any creatures left, and he's using all of his means to kill us on his turn. Geist was a good draw. We'll punch, we'll play Geist, and we'll hold up Lightning Helix. Red, blue, white. Even if our opponent plays a creature here, we're just going to send this Helix to the face. That way it ensures that our Flying Mantis Rider and Angel are a lethal attack. Okay, so that closed that out. All right, against Infect, I think we went Engineered Explosives. Let's see here. I'm not sure how good Valorous Stance is. It does destroy, so it doesn't matter how big they make him. Electrolyze is probably... Electrolyze might not be the best. It kind of gets out of range relatively quickly. Now, normally this deck runs Remands, and I don't like those as much, but Mana Leak is actually not the worst. Our opponent is going to go first. Wear Terror might be all right. A lot of times they bring in, I don't know if it's called, I think maybe it's called Wild Defiance, and it's an enchantment that makes their guys absolutely ridiculously big. Okay, so let's see here. I think what we probably actually want to cut, do we want to cut Thundermaw? I don't. Yeah, I mean we have no choice but to try and be controlling in the very beginning. We're gonna cut one stance. We really just want to kill his guys immediately and not wait till he's pumping them. Actually, maybe we just don't want any stance because of that. Let's see, negate might be okay. Keeping an electrolyze. Maybe we just want more straight removal like this. This seems good. I'll give this a try. Path, Helix, Mantis Rider. Our mana's awkward. Mana's really awkward. We do get a draw step, but we can end up getting really punished by trying to keep this. See, if we do not, I think we're going to have to mulligan this. If we do not draw a white source, this hand does nothing. So we're going to mulligan. This hand's not great, but it has a piece of removal. So we're going to keep. Should allow us to go mountain and probably kill a turn 1 Glistener Elf. Yep, and that's what we're going to do. Other land is nice. Now again, if our opponent decides to double mutagenic growth his Glistener Elf, that's only going to leave him with 3 spells. And that's 4 points of Infect that we're not going to end up taking. Opponent elects not to. I'm sure he has them. Oh, I mean, I'm sure he has them in the deck. Him not drawing another one was absolutely fantastic. Okay, so we're going to try to... What I'm sure his follow-up here is going to be an Equirclaw Mirror, in which case we will most likely be getting... Our life total's really irrelevant. Probably just get a... that thing. Let's see. Our life total's irrelevant. We'll just get a Steam Vents. Really hoping that he does not have a Vines. All right, well, let's use this opportunity to get a... Let's see, that's a Plains or Island, which we have. Get a Geist online. All right, I was getting ready to pause it, but our opponent is now doing things. So our plan at this point is just to begin punching him as much as we can with Geist of Saint Traft. Yeah, so we're going to do a combat, attack. If he wants to block and pump, then we lose our guys, we're just going to play another one. We do have a kind of long road to go here. Not surprised he didn't block. We could play another Geist as a blocker, but I don't really think that gets us anywhere. Like, let's see. If we play Geist as a blocker... so we're going to take 2 Infect. If he's all action, then we could just be dead next turn. So we could do it to try to buy ourselves a little bit of time. We're not winning the game that way, though. So I think we're just going to hope our opponent plays around a bunch of removal spells. A lot of times against blue, white, red, they're real hesitant to go all in. Like Vines of the Vastwood, for example, they're not going to play it and kick it. That's no good. They're not going to play it and kick it unless they're responding to a removal spell. So he's just going. So this is 8 Infect. I think we're probably dead, boys and girls. You know, I do kind of wonder... Geist, let's see. Actually, I think Snapcaster Mage has actually risen in price, but I was going to say maybe in this deck you're just better off running 4 Snapcaster Mages instead of Geist of St. Traft. I haven't seen this one before. Well, we're dead. And 11-10... If we had played a Geist to block, we'd be alive at 1 Infect. I mean, at 9 Infect. So we'll die. And we would have drawn a Lightning Bolt. So actually, maybe that would have been a better play. But we have a game 3 to try this again. Let's see. Is there anything... like the mana leaks aren't they're not the worst early. We are on the play, which makes them a little bit better. Actually, Elspeth is probably not as good as just a Valorous Stance. The Wear Tears were good. I think all of this is fine. We'll submit this. We will play first. This hand seems great for what we're doing here, so we'll keep it. And if our opponent plays a turn 1 Glistener Elf, then we're just going to Flood a Strand into a Sacred Foundry, bolt it, and then probably play a Sulphur Falls. A slow start. We can't ask for much more. So since he didn't, let's see, we need red, and white. I don't think it really much matters. We will get a Hallowed Fountain, Sulphur Falls, and pass. We could have played this Flooded Strand. That way we could thin our deck ever so slightly. Wow, okay. Really slow start from our opponent. And we drew Burn. So I want to get Geist on. Let's see, we could punch immediately for 17 and have a blocker back. But being that we're not under any pressure right now, I want to get Geist into play. Because next turn we will actually be able to potentially bolt something and Mantis Rider and attack with both. I think our opponent just must have like an awful hand and hoping to draw into a creature. 8 cards, pausing, not doing anything. So we want to kill him quickly. That means like if he draws into a dude, he's just packing tons of heat. That's a card. All right, let's think for a moment. We definitely want to attack, but do we want to... I think we just want to bolt first and see what our opponent does. He must have he has to have a lot of... He has to have a lot of removal spell, a lot of pump spells, so... I don't think we actually want to play Mantis Rider yet. What I think we want to do is I think we want to bolt the Seachlor Clawmere now. And then if it dies, we want to hold up all of our removal for this Inkmoth Nexus. Let's see. Make sure we're doing this right. Yeah, that's fine. Because we can get a mountain with Bloodstained Mire. We also kind of do have the option of just, if this dies, punching some damage through with Mantis Rider. And because it has Vigilance, we can block this Inkmoth Nexus. So he's going to have to, if he wants to attack and successfully get damage through, not only will he have to give it Trample, but it may buy us it will let us get damage through, and then it'll let us get an additional 3 damage through and buy us some time. Kind of feel like, though, our opponent's seriously considering using Vines here. Yeah, there it is. Okay, so our opponent has 5 additional spells. Let's see, if he doesn't have another land, then in order to activate Inkmoth Nexus, he's going to have to... Yeah. We'll try this again. We're going to attack. Give me 1 second, guys. Sorry about that. Okay. So this is going to be kind of a tough one. We have 1 removal spell here. And it's very plausible that our opponent can represent lethal. The only reason I'm hoping that he can't is because he has 3 lands in play. Well, now he has additional ones, so it's going to take at least 1 of those to activate Inkmoth Nexus. All right, so... He did not play land, right? Oh, no, he did. That's right. So we have to do this now. So if he has another Vines, he can't kick Vines. If he has like a, I forget what the other one is, he may be able to use one pump spell to get it out of range of Helix. Nope. Kind of lucked out there. That's part of Magic, though. That was a pretty good draw. So we are going to now play our Mantis Rider. Does it matter which land we keep up? It doesn't really matter. Our life's not that relevant. Play attack with both. And fortunately, we have Mantis Rider back on blocking duty. All right, if we can just get one more attack in, which we should be able to, I think we're good to go. I mean, our opponent's facing 7 in the air. We will attempt to kill it in response. I don't see a reason not to. It doesn't see we have 2 whites. We have plenty of blue, plenty of red. It does not really matter. And I'm trying to think what else we may draw. Triple red, double blue, double white. I guess we can just get a hollowed fountain and then have triple of everything. So this is a lethal attack here. All right, well, we beat Infect with budget blue, white, red Geist. Pretty sweet. We did not see our Planeswalker. My daughter just got home from school, so I'm going to go check in with her. And if I can create a little bit more time, then I'd like to play another round. So maybe I'll see you guys in a bit. Thanks for watching. And I know what I was going to say. Thank you for your support, as I said in the beginning of the video, if you so choose to give it to me. All right, guys. Draw well, smash face.